gentlemen, welcome to the plateau here at Ashland High School for tonight's Tri-Valley Large title matchup between your Ashland Clockers and the Norwood Mustangs. Ashland coming in at 6-0 and Norwood 5-1. Norwood coming off a win last week on their home turf, 42-7 thrashing of Holliston. The game was primarily featured by their running backs, Brian Matea and Suba DeCall. That's number 19, and number 22 is DeCall. He had 4 touchdowns on 150 yards on the ground. Their quarterback, Joey Steves, has thrown the ball only 70 times this year, so they do rely primarily on the run. So it's going to be a physical game and really up to Ashland to stop the run and force them to throw the ball. On Ashland's side, quarterback Luke Herter will be anchoring the offense as he always does. Look for Andrew Molesky to get a lot of the carries along with Peter Gigliotti. Point of note, Andrew Molesky only about 10 yards away from the 1,000-yard mark. So that's quite an accomplishment. That's number 23 for you, those new viewers here. Also on the receiving end, going to look for Max Palin and Jake Grims are getting into the action along with Matt Gillis last week. So look for those guys to participate. Then we have on the line, you have Dylan Drozek, you have Pat Deloriers, you have Jerry Canning, who's gotten into the game lately and made a big impact. So those are the players to look out for. It should be a very competitive game. It's going to come down to protecting the ball. It's going to come down to playing a clean game. We don't want any penalties, and that's what Ashland has been able to do and avoid all season long. No turnovers, no penalties, and they've come out on top because of that. So we're going to kick off in about 10 minutes, so thanks for watching WACA-TV. I'm Rob Silver. Come on back, and we'll be ready to start. Thank you.
At Gillette Stadium, Ashland is the Super Bowl champion of Division 6 and the winner of the Aganis Trophy. Hello again, everybody, from Bill Cunis Field at Ashland High School. It's Ashland High School Varsity Sports on WACA-TV. Tonight, the Ashland Public Schools and the Tri-Valley League present varsity football. And Rob, I think this might be the biggest game of the year.
By far the biggest game of the year, almost a horse collar there. But Gigliotti with a very efficient run back.
A lot of people think this might be a championship game. Norwood comes in undefeated in the league, and the Clockers undefeated on the whole season.
Right, and then each team has kind of a fairly easy matchup, but it's never easy in the TVL, as we know.
One disturbing thing, Rob, that disturbed me when I read it today was the way that Norwood handled Holliston last Saturday, a 42-7 shellacking, and of course Norwood gave the Clockers everything they could handle, taking the game into overtime. We're underway.
Herter hands off to Molesky. Goes for about a half a yard.
Hand off to Molesky.
Both teams are running teams, they tell me.
And last week's game, I watched the film.
2nd and 9.
It seemed like once once Norwood got out to a lead, Hollis, I don't want to say gave up, but their season was over, and it really just they were really deflated. Their whole season.
It can happen to any team.
Yeah.
Happened to the Clockers a couple of years ago.
Sure. And
last year in the spring against Holliston.
Yeah, not to take anything away from Norwood because they were dominant last week.
They've been on the rise the last 3 seasons.
There's a huge hole to Molesky.
Molesky with the carry.
And that puts him over 1,000 yards for the season.
That offensive line, and of course, if you're Norwood, you're keying on
First
Molesky.
down, Ashland.
You know, there's
from
no
the
other,
Norwood
there's nothing else.
44-yard line.
I look for, the other Ashland back, number 40,
Peter Gigliotti.
to be a big factor in tonight's game, I should say.
Yeah, maybe we should see Gigliotti going in a lot of motion. They didn't really do a lot of jet sweeps, maybe to try and keep the legs fresh, but that will throw off the defense.
And I look for more runs from Herder, too, if they really start keying on Molesky.
Just a huge hole.
Herder with the carry.
Oh, Herder's got it down. I looked down
That
for a
happened to us
second.
last week, Rob.
I looked down for a second and I, heard the contact. But anyways, that's.
But we ask and we receive.
Yeah.
First and 10,
Just like
Ashland
last week.
from the
That was, that Herder kept it. Good play action. And he is very adept on the ground.
Well, let's see.
He's got a decent arm as far as accuracy.
Gigliotti brought back the kickoff.
To the 37.
Molesky had the first run, and now Herder has gone around
Yeah,
at the end.
Molesky had that first run for nothing, and then 17 yards. And Molesky, so that's a good sign.
So all 3 weapons now. We haven't passed yet. Maybe this is coming now.
I think he's Coach McKay if he doesn't. And there's the man in motion we talked about.
He got it.
Good
Hands off to
blocking.
Gigliotti.
Gigliotti.
Nice pickup of about 6 yards. 7.
Gigliotti picks up.
Big story in the Globe today about this game, and I thought it was interesting that the Norwood coach is a former Super Bowl champion from 2000 when he was on the Norwood Mustang team, and a couple interesting things. He's brought that team from the depths to where they are today, where they tied for the championship with Ashland last year. But they're a running team, just like Ashland, so it was run against run.
Yeah. As they hand off to Molesky, and he gets enough for the first down. Pick up of about 4. And you mentioned that they're a running team. When I was listening to the broadcast last week, one of the stats they talked about was going into last week's game, Joseph Steves had only thrown 56 passes, averaging maybe 10 throws a game, and he didn't throw much last week. He didn't have to. So
Sign of a good team that's winning a lot of games, though, too.
right, in a physical way.
Yeah.
So Ashland's going to have to, stop the run and make him throw it, something he's not used to doing.
What do we got? We got a first down.
Yeah, we got a 1st and 10 on the 18-yard line. Matt Gillis, the up back. Another handoff to Molesky. And he's hitting the backfield and keeps going.
Hand off to Molesky.
They had him twice, but they didn't.
Ball
Wow,
carry
they had him the first time for a
12-yard
loss
line.
of about a yard, but he's the human Weeble.
The story in the Globe was more about Norwood than it was about Ashland, but I thought it was kind of curious at the end. They picked Ashland to win the game tonight.
I have Ashland.
Another thing that disturbed me, the Holliston win disturbed me, the score of that game. But they beat Brockton, or they beat Stoughton, who beat Brockton. What world is that?
And I was looking, the one loss they had was against Silver Regional High School, and they didn't have a dominating win against Medfield, who's winless.
Yes.
Herder keeps it.
Of course, it turns out Brockton only has 1 win.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are down this year. Medfield among them.
Medfield's winless, and Norwood played them to 21-7 to victory. Silver Regional is now 2-4, but again, you don't know who they're playing.
They're up 1 division,
Yeah.
too. The divisions are crazy. Hopkinton's in Division 2. We're in Division 5.
Yeah, they beat Hopkinton pretty handily in Hopkinton.
Yeah, they handled them.
They're able to put points on the board, that's for sure. So it is 3rd and 3 7:37 to go here in the first quarter. Pitch to Molesky. Finds a hole, and he's going to walk into the end zone.
Touchdown.
Just like he's done all year.
Ashland.
Tremendous blocking.
Andrew.
And it was a rare pitch. They don't pitch the ball that often, but it was a rare pitch, and it was perfect. And a great block. We'll have to get the number on that person who made that block to free him there on the outside.
He did not have to break any tackles.
No, and he's never comfortable when that happens. He needs the contact.
Our great kicker,
John Gillia.
John Gillia, is lining up his first extra point, what we hope is his first extra point attempt of the night.
Cam Antoniuk runs in to get the count right. Good snap. Perfect.
Kick is good.
Long and straight. Timeout on the field.
7:30.
7:30 left in the first period. It's Ashland 7 and Norwood nothing.
Norwood 0.
You know, Rob, a lot of people think this is a championship game, even though there are games left on the schedule for both teams. And with Medfield being down, Ashland figures strong in that game next week. Norwood just has their one Thanksgiving Day game opponent left in the Tri-Valley Large Division. So Dedham and Hopkinton could figure in this decision.
Medfield?
Huh?
Did you mean Medfield? You said Dedham.
Dedham plays Norwood on Thanksgiving.
Oh, I thought it was Westwood.
And Hopkinton plays.
I'll.
I think Westwood and Halston actually play on Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Dedham and Hopkinton may have a say on Thanksgiving Day. It looks like they will, no matter who wins tonight. Ooh, the hesitation. They're looking for the sign.
I wonder if that's planned.
Yeah, it stops everything, Rob. It's effective.
But yeah.
Boomed straight away.
So we'll see what Norwood can do
at
with
the
it.
3.
Oh, what a tackle.
And that's Jake Keaveney with a huge tackle.
Great tackle by number 11, Jake Keaveney.
Jake, a junior.
That's some of the best
Norwood has first and 10 from their
special
15.
teams kickoff that we've had all year. It's about as far deep as we've pinned anybody all year.
And it wasn't right at him, too. They had 2 back, 2 deep ones, and one had to move over to get it, and
yeah, I
that
think
helps.
it was Ryan Keneally on the return.
Now their 2 backs are
They have Suba DeCall and Brian Matea, 22 and 19.
so those are the kids to watch on
Joseph
the Norwood
Steves.
Mustangs. Quick out, complete.
That's
The coach goes to the pass on the first play.
Ball is caught by number 15.
Gives
Ryan.
Coach McKay something to think
Ryan
about right
Flynn,
away.
right. That's a Bill Belichick move.
And
If
how-
they think you're going to run it every time, we're going to come out and pass it a million
Second and
times.
And how interesting is it how the center calls all their offensive signals?
Oh, yeah.
He runs the whole team. Everything goes through the center. And he's a big boy.
Center is 75. I think it was Quinn, according
Yes,
to the...
yeah.
Yeah, Sean Quinn, the senior.
Oh, no, the big boy's the guard. Yeah.
Steve's hands off to DeCall,
So that's the call.
and that's the first down.
So we haven't seen
Tackle by number 52, Leo
Brian
Matea.
we haven't seen Brian Matea yet. Of course, only the 3rd play.
Norwood has first and 10 from their 25. No, 20. Yep.
He's got a back in the slot, and he's got one split right. Oh, hammered!
And it's Matt Gillis and Luke Herter.
Great
What a
by
tackle,
Matt Gillis.
Do we have their quarterback, Rob?
So-
I don't see his name in there.
Steves, number 5, Joseph Steves,
Joseph
Joey.
Steves.
That's a gain of 1.
I
Second
I
and
pulled up
9.
the roster. So they have Westwood next week, and then I think they have Westwood next week, and as you mentioned, Thanksgiving is versus Dedham. But I don't think Dedham's a league game. They're Tri-Valley small, so it's going to come to.
Exactly.
But we have Hopkinton
and who is
We
in
have,
our league.
yeah, we have
You're
one less
right.
game right now. They're 3-0 Tri-Valley. We're 2-0. So that one goes to Matea.
Hand off to Brian Matea.
And of course, anything can happen, but based on what's happened so far this season and based on what we saw last week, we really don't see Westwood and Medfield as being obstacles to these two teams.
No. And a nice job by Cam Antonuck to get a hand on Matea as he tried around the corner.
Did Cam have the interception last week?
That was Michael Diaz at the
Yeah.
end. Cam had the pick six, I believe.
He had the pick six, yes.
I think
That made the Max Preps defensive plays of the week.
So the biggest play of the game so far, 3rd and 7. Steve's
First third down of the game, I think.
drops back. He's got Gillis.
oh.
Oh, the beautiful read by the offense. Oh,
Caught
but a better read by Ashland, huh?
by number 19.
That only went for
Brian
2
Matea,
yards.
gang tackle
He had
by
so much
Ashland.
space when he
And
caught
brings
that,
up a 4th
and they
down.
just closed. They were.
Should he have waited another beat? You know, that screen, at the time, I thought it was executed perfect.
Gillis was closing in on him. I don't
He had
think
to he had to let it go.
But I still thought when he caught it
Yeah.
that he had plenty of space.
First punt of the game. Who's deep?
It's Jake Troutman.
Oh, very, very
think
high. Right at Troutman. The fake fair catch or the fake catch and let it go.
And the ball is
Jake, I'm glad he let that one go. He was surrounded.
32.
So here's my thoughts on that. If you're going to let it go, let it go. Get the hell out of there.
Take a walk, yeah.
What if it kicks left?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
It's
sometimes
just-
you can touch it accidentally, and that's what you don't want. That's why you got to
Right.
clear the area. But Jake got caught in between because, it was right at him. He didn't have to move. What a punt, though. What height.
Yeah, it had a lot of height.
That can be a
Distance.
weapon for a special team. Clockers second time on offense. They lead 7-0. First period, October 22nd, 2021. The Clockers and the Mustangs at Cunis Field. Bob Thacker, Rob Silva, Connor Donovan, and a cast of thousands. Bringing you today's game on WACA-TV, live on YouTube and Facebook, I hope.
Gain of 2.
And sponsored by the fabulous Marathon Deli. And,
I stopped in there last night.
Oh, my
Steak
God.
tips.
Gain of 2.
Unbelievable.
I have dreams about their food, their sandwiches. They have the best sandwich in town.
Sandwiches. No, the Norwood fans might want to try the Bucking Bronco. The Mustangs, they have a Bucking Bronco wrap. We didn't-
And what's the feature thing in the Bucking Bronco? Is it? It's not horse meat, is it? What is in there?
I'm not sure.
Maybe it's
Oh, they throw to Palin. Finds a soft spot.
It's a first down.
Palin.
Very nicely designed play.
Max
He
Palin
was in a
with the
crowd,
first down.
but he was all alone.
He found the spot in the zone,
8-yard line.
and Herder hit the spot. And that's the Marathon Deli hit the spot play of the game. I got a million of them, Bob.
Old style, old style. Drop-ins, they're called.
So we got Gigliotti lined up at the bottom, and he goes into motion. Okay, makes sense. And he gets the handoff.
Oh, he had to push through a couple boys to get that 4 yards.
Right-hand side.
Yeah, Gigliotti, because Molesky's had such a great year, he doesn't get
Gain of
as
4.
much credit
Ball
as he probably
48.
deserves. But he's a solid.
Second
He would be a
and 6.
starting running back on any team.
Molesky came into this game with 988 yards in 6 games. So he has been a force for Ashland. Went
Yeah.
over 1,000 early in the first period tonight.
In 6 games where he didn't play the second half in I think 3 of those games.
No, the Clockers were too far ahead.
This is what Gigliotti does.
Uh-oh.
A little misdirection to Molesky.
Boy, I absolutely love him when he goes up the middle.
First down.
It's just fabulous.
Ashland.
Well,
Down to the 30.
I mean, they're just setting it up so perfect.
The way he
Gigli-
accelerates.
Yeah, and Gigliotti had those 2 sweeps where he was very effective, so they have to respect it. And this time they don't give it to him. That's one of the things I pointed out early in the year. Gigliotti will run that back and forth 3 plays in a row, full speed, and he doesn't lose anything.
You got to sell it, Rob. You got to sell it. You're right. Full speed. Full speed.
I'm like out of breath watching him, and he's doing it, back and forth nonstop. And then he'll go on defense and do it.
It's a first down.
This is Keaveney in motion to Molesky. Look at him move that pile.
He didn't see the hole he wanted, so he decided I got to just pull it.
Molesky with the ball.
He ends up with 4 yards.
Tackled by number 54,
I think
Ethan
where they spotted.
Brownville.
Yeah, maybe 3.
Ball's at the 34-yard line.
So this could be the last play of the quarter with 44 seconds and running clock. So if it's a run or a complete pass, a quick quarter. Troutman moving to the outside. Herder looks that way, throws the other side to kick, rims it, it's picked off.
Ball's intercepted. Intercepted by number 3, Sean Steves.
Well, that ends that drive.
Yeah, and
Luke,
Sean Steves, the younger brother of Joseph Steves.
Luke looked it off. He looked it off the other way and came back, but it wasn't there. He threw it anyway.
No, it was kind of far downfield, and it was another one of those like we talked about last week. He might have been a little late throwing it.
Yeah, he wanted to look the other way, and then he turned.
By the time he realized he was open, it was too late. So a huge play we talked about in the pregame. It's going to come down to protecting the ball.
It's the first turnover of the game, and let's see if Norwood picks up the momentum
Handoff
here.
to number 22,
And
Subban
that
the call.
is going to do it for
Gain
the
of
first
3.
quarter.
Out to the 28-yard line, and that is the end of the first quarter.
So we're going to get a word from our sponsors, Technoplex Flexibles and Marathon Deli. Ashland Clockers leading 7-0. Rob Silver, Bob Thacker. We'll be back in a moment.
Today's sports coverage on WACA-TV is sponsored in part by Technoplex Flexibles, a globally integrated company focused on developing and manufacturing innovative packaging materials. The Ashland facility produces packaging for medical devices and essential products to help in the battle to treat and eliminate COVID-19.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Marathon Deli. Marathon Deli offers a full range of lunch and dinner items for dine-in or catering. Fine cold cuts, cheeses, and meats also available, in addition to specialty wraps such as the Mayflower wrap as well as the Honey Bee wrap. They'll be sure to get your mouth watering. Serving Metro West for over 24 years, give them a call at 508-231-1859 or find them on the web at marathondeli.com.
And now we're officially back, second quarter. Norwood,
Second down play.
after an interception deep in their zone, throws over the middle to number 15. That's Ryan Flynn, who caught the first pass of the game.
That's an important tackle.
Yeah, so the Clockers leading 7-0. They were marching down the field.
Tackle by Keegan Weiss.
And an errant pass by Luke Herder was picked off by
from the 48-yard
Sean
line.
Steves, and that's where we are now, approaching midfield.
Beautiful play. He laid it right in there. Keegan Weiss made an important tackle because that could have gone for another 40 yards.
Excellent point.
Now the Mustangs are giving the Clockers something to think about. They go to the sweep.
Mateo.
Off to number 19.
Oh, and Gillis.
Tackle by Matty Gillis. Number 19.
You see him
Brian
shed that
Mateo.
tackle? I thought it was either going to be a hold because they were going to get too aggressive with him.
From the 49.
I was afraid of a head-to-head hit there.
So they get
Wow.
1 yard.
What a tackle. Very tough. Mateo's
Maybe
first
two.
touch. Is that his first touch?
I think he had one other one.
Man.
Yeah, he had one other one where he tried the sweep and Antonuk tripped him up.
Second down again. This is where they hit us big. Everybody moves.
The flag on the play.
But
The
unfortunately
Clockers
for
on
Norwood,
defense are
right.
allowed to
Yeah,
move.
that's
The offense
exactly.
is not.
That's what I was going to say. Unfortunately for Norwood, they can't.
Mustangs, you know, I'm so old. I remember when Norwood was the Nuggets.
False start.
You see the
offense.
gold in their uniforms?
Mhm.
100 years
That-
ago,
that's
they
a
were known
tribute
as the
to the-
Norwood
Were they
Nuggets.
really?
Down and
Wow.
13.
And then somebody finally said, "What? Why are they the? How
From the
inspirational is a
45-yard line
Nugget?
of Norwood.
Was there gold? Was there gold found? on
Right.
Route
Well, the
1?
Mustangs, we didn't have Mustangs roaming around Massachusetts, did we? Maybe
We did
I
have
don't know.
horses.
they looked to the bottom. It's
Oh,
Flynn.
oh.
Pass complete
It's
to number
short of the
15,
first down. The
Ryan
third down play
Flynn.
coming up.
Tackle by Ethan Antonup. That brings up third down.
It's, at
Third
the,
and
Yeah.
it's in that
I said,
very tough
I've been
area,
saying-
Rob.
I've been saying Cam
46-yard line,
Antonuck.
third and 5.
Can I just see
It's
the?
Ethan.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
I thought that was
Cam's
his
his younger
nickname.
brother. Don't be afraid to correct me. I've made a mistake. So it's a huge 3rd and 4, maybe even 2 down territory.
Yeah. You can trust your defense.
They got this one read out.
Oh,
Great tackle.
man, what great
Luke
defensive
Herter
work.
and Jack McGough, pair of quarterbacks in on the tackle.
Boy, did McGough come up big.
No gain on the play. That brings up fourth down.
And that takes the 4 down territory
4th
off the
and
table.
5.
He lost a yard.
Norwood is in a punt formation.
Yeah, that really does make a difference losing that yard.
Yeah.
4th and 5 is
And
just
that's
not worth it.
Flynn.
Oh, they're in on him.
Gillis just missed that one. See if we get a big bounce. Yeah, maybe, yes.
Ball goes into
Very
the end
close.
zone. That's a
Very
touchback.
close of being planted.
It's a 45-yard gross, but only 25 net.
Who came close?
Matt Gillis.
Matt came very close to blocking that. And he had that perfect angle, so you don't have to worry about running into the kicker, the punter.
He's as an
Beautiful.
intelligent a player.
I'd like to
as
welcome
you'll
back
see in
any
this
alumni
league.
that are here for the homecoming.
Oh, speaking of alumni, I don't know if he's listening. I think he is, but I spoke with Abel Vagia, who was a 2017 grad, but he coached this class when they were freshmen. These kids that are seniors now.
Nice.
Handoff to Molesky.
Molesky picks up about 5 or 6. So Abel said he'd be watching.
Ball
So
carried out to the 25.
This
So that
is a
brings
bigger
up
crowd than
2nd
last
and
week. This is the
5.
biggest crowd of the season. And even Norwood
We have
has
an injury timeout.
the long ride.
looks like
The long ride from Route 1.
Yep.
And they have a nice attendance tonight as well.
So number 4 for Norwood limping off the field. That's junior Joseph McHugh. Looked like a cramp the way they were stretching it out, but he's not putting any pressure on it. So let's hope it's nothing more serious.
I'm always happy when it's a cramp because it's not an injury. It's just,
Right,
It's
that's
just something you gotta. It just goes away. Always something to do with hydration. That's all I know.
so. It is 2nd and 5. Ethan Antonuck moves to the right. Hand off to Molesky. He's hit in the backfield, but he breaks
Handoff to
free.
Molesky. He's still going, folks.
41-yard line.
Breaks it off
16
all the way
yards.
to 41.
Could have been dropped for a loss again.
First
Again.
down.
And maybe once or twice along the way he could have been tackled as well.
Yeah.
But it ends up 16 yards for Ashland and a first down. We're in the second period. Ashland 7, Norwood nothing. 7+ left in the until halftime. Clock is going on the first period on a Molesky run.
And their running game's been so effective, they don't really need to pass.
It was the Clockers' opening drive.
Got to keep them honest, I guess. But
Second drive ended on an interception.
Molesky again.
This time,
He falls forward for 3 yards.
they're very happy. If you're a Mustang, you're very happy with that.
Yeah, everybody just fell to the ground, and
Yeah.
he had to just kind of fall over him. So Jerry Canning
Now,
comes
my
out of the
idea
game.
of submarining on the tackles,
45-yard line.
very easy to say, almost impossible to execute.
Now that's
When the
not.
kid has the full head of steam.
Is that legal? Oh no, that's on the blocking.
Yeah.
Okay, you're talking.
And there's
yeah.
something about tackling your quarterback down low that's illegal too.
Fakes the handoff, rolls to his right.
Luke's gonna throw. Oh!
Max Palin,
Incomplete.
Max turned upfield without the ball.
and
He
he
is
had-
mad at himself.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Max in the opening game here against the Griffins of Greater Lowell Regional, Max had a little trouble with the receptions,
Max a senior, number 9.
but he did make the big
13.
touchdown catch against Holliston when it was
Oh,
extremely important.
what a play.
3rd and 7.
He was almost too open.
45-yard
I think
line.
that's what happened the one time
3rd and 7.
when he almost dropped it earlier. He was so far open.
He
that-
was looking down at that end zone run. That's where I want to be.
So 3rd and 7.
Big play for Luke Herder here. He's going to pass. Now he takes off up the middle. They got him. They sling him down.
Herder.
There's Sean Quinn.
The big Norwood defensive line rises to the occasion and puts Ashland in their first
That brings up
punting
4th down
situation in
and
2 weeks.
Quinn and Matt Alves,
46.
number 64. And this is probably, at this point of the season, the weakest part of the Ashland game is their punting unit.
They're going to let Mahoney, Matt Mahoney, return
This.
this.
Punt for
He's a-
Ashland,
And it's Pat Dwinells.
Patrick Dwinells.
He's been getting better.
Matthews only a sophomore.
Definitely improving.
Good snap. Straight up.
Needs a clocker bounce, and he
Oh.
gets it.
Beautiful. A thing of
Takes an
beauty
Ashland
as it
bounce.
ends up at the 16 and a half. And the Mustangs will take
Yeah.
over there.
Ball is down
Net
at
of,
17.
37 yards after that nice friendly roll.
Now the kids, it's homecoming. Are the kids wearing white or something?
Oh yeah, the whiteout.
What is that? The whiteout.
The whiteout.
Yeah. Where did that come from? Penn State?
I think it was Penn State.
The Nuggets are blue and gold, I guess, and of course the clock is blue, white, and red. Clock is in their home blues.
And
Norwood
to
in their
DeCall.
visiting whites.
Oh no.
Look at that speed. Can they catch him?
I
He's
don't-
pulling away. He's going all the way.
By the call. Touchdown, Norwood.
No flags, Rob.
83 yards.
Who took it?
Subad DeCall.
Now we know what they were talking about in the Boston Globe today.
And that's the big thing about their running game. You can't give them any momentum. You got to stop them, and in the backfield or once they get into open space, forget it.
Tremendous speed he showed. Pulling away from our fastest players.
Yeah, but if you can get a hand on them or just
Oh,
tug a
of course,
jersey or
yeah.
something like that, then Ashland's got some great closing speed with their help.
We had no angle either.
No.
He went right up the middle.
Kick is up and it's good.
Tie game.
So with 5
And
minutes
that's the
10
first
seconds left
point
in the
scored
first
against
half.
this Ashland Clocker defense
Scores
at
Ashland
home
7,
in the first half this
Norwood.
year.
Mustangs
Comes
7.
with about 5 minutes left.
Up until that touchdown, they had outscored their opponents 124 to nothing
Well,
in the first half
that was
here
a
at the Plateau.
sobering 83-yard run. And those, you got to remember, up this high, the air is very, very thin up here on the top of the plateau.
Yes. Not as high as it is for most of the people. You and I, it's
Yeah,
a couple inches less than
There's
most.
clouds. The clouds block our view sometimes.
You know, last year's 21-14 win against Norwood in the spring 2 season, It was, I think it was 14-0 at the time, and they broke off a 70-yard or something like that to get him back in the game. Very similar to what happened, and the momentum kind of almost just turned on a dime. But Ashland rallied like they have been known
I watched
to
the
do
highlights
over
of the
last
game. We had a lot of great plays against them, but the score was closer than you would have thought.
So Troutman fields
Troutman
this
with the
kick.
ball.
They try a reverse. They got some room.
There goes to Winnells.
It's Pat Winnells.
There goes to Winnells. With a reverse.
Almost to midfield, a great
To the
play.
45-yard line.
And the momentum, just like that, is back.
Patrick Dwinells, the junior, took that handoff from
Ashland
Jake Troutman.
first and
Jake,
10
yeah.
From the 46.
And that's the type of play we were talking about early in the year. McKay's always got those up his sleeve, but he hasn't had to use them. He always saves them for the big game. There's always some little...
Well, Andrew McKay has always loved that play. He's always doesn't use it that much, but he's always liked it.
And Dwinells is such a great runner. He had to avoid that one block, which he did, and got into open space.
Herder on the keeper.
Remember when he used to have three guys meet
Maybe
at the
1
center,
yard.
and you didn't know who had the ball, and they would
Kinda
break,
like
they'd
the,
break the huddle.
Kind of like the precursor to that wing T war
Yes,
offense.
the
just-
special team version. Yes.
48-yard line.
Yeah, they haven't broke that out. Maybe they'll do that in the second half. So Clockers tied right now, 7-7 with the Mustangs after an 83-yard run by Subha DeCall, even the score.
It's a 2nd and 8. See if they want to pass or if they want to try to see what they can get on the run.
To Molesky,
Molesky
and
with
he's
the
got
ball.
some space. A nice block by Gigliotti.
Molesky's still going.
30 yards on the carry.
Block by
The
wide
last
receiver.
thing in his mind is going out of bounds there.
Ball's down
Cuts
to
it in
The spin
into
move
the
back
two
into the-
tacklers.
exactly.
3-yard line.
Because he knows if he can bounce them off, he can score.
I got to give a silver star to Peter Gigliotti. He runs the sweep, stays in the play, makes a nice clean block that springs Molesky for an extra 15 yards or so.
And, you know, Luke is pretty good on the play fakes, too. You know, his ball handling is very good.
So 3:38 to go. Clockers on the 23-yard line.
Mm-hmm. It's a first down.
Molesky finds another hole. It was Ethan Antonuk that came in
They're
as an
moving
extra
the
blocker
chains.
up front.
So that must be an Ashland.
You're shaking
first
your head.
down.
It's in amazement.
If you're a Norwood defender, you're talking to yourself. I can't help it. You're saying, wait a minute.
Yeah.
First and 10.
You know, we've
Right. 11 yards.
We've played against plenty of good backs this year already. We've never seen this.
And when I spoke with the Bell, Coach Vigia, he was talking about how even back as a freshman, he knew Molesky was something special.
And they make a play
Yeah.
Molesky brought down in the
for
back.
a loss. Norwood defense got fed up. Said, let's make a play.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-yard loss.
Of 2
One of the few tackles for a loss Molesky's
from the 13.
suffered this season.
Be interesting to see what the Norwood coach does as far as the timeouts. 'Cause I think Ashland is content running a ton of time off the clock here.
Seems that way.
It's 2:18 to go. Norwood's got 3 timeouts left. Ashland inside the Marathon Deli red zone.
What, are you saying that they only have 3 timeouts per half now?
Yes.
Have they changed that?
I believe they
Okay.
did.
Up the middle. Called play.
Some great blocking by Molesky. Herder's still going, and he's in.
That was a called play.
Absolutely.
The so-called quarterback draw.
We've seen that all year.
And Luke knows what to do.
And it was Molesky with a huge block just clearing the way.
Extra point attempt.
And Herder
Ball
just,
be number
patient,
63,
waiting for the
Phillip
blocks and
19,
recognizing
Jack McGough with the hold.
that they were
John
going to
Gillian
develop.
for the
Clockers
attempt.
answer that touchdown with one of their own. 13-7 extra point coming up. Giglia with the attempt from the 10.
Kick is up.
Looks
and
good,
the kick
is good.
Nails it.
With
Timeout
1
on the
minute,
field.
56
1:56
seconds in the
left to
half.
go until halftime.
Ashland
Ashland 14
Norwood
and
7.
Norwood 7. Well,
So, they said it was the game of the week. So far, it's everything it's been built up to be.
Clocker's got to be very, very alert on defense here. They don't want a last-minute
Please
score.
support Ashland
Norwood
Clockers
knows they've got to get
contributing
at least
the
a
cause.
first down here, or Ashland will have a chance to get the ball back. So a lot going on in the final minute,
Congratulations to
56
junior Kaiser
until
Yoshi
halftime.
of the golf team, who's qualified for states.
Clockers,
Congratulations to junior
depending on what
Yoshi
happens here,
of the golf team, who will represent Massachusetts in the New England Golf Championship.
have to be more acutely aware of the running back.
We always got to watch, got to make sure there's no quick kick. Look at Gillia is lined up.
Back to receive is number 25, Ryan Connolly.
So a nice kickoff to
24.
follow up their first touchdown. We'll see how deep. He's got a little wind behind
Woo!
him, too.
Sailing over
And
his
that
head.
kick is
Just enough
through
of
the
a
end
breeze.
zone,
He's
and
just
that's
got a
gonna be
huge leg.
touchback. So that would be Norwood first and 10 from the 20.
I don't think the student section gave him enough recognition for how important a kick that was.
I felt the breeze come up just as he
Monday night
got the foot
is
into it.
senior night for our field hockey team.
Oh.
6 p.m. at the high
We've
school
talked about in the
versus
past. Usually, sometimes you'll see it bounce into the end zone. That thing was 5 yards deep in the air into
Chris,
the end zone.
With the turf field there, all the bounces are pretty true, you know.
So,
In my day, we played on mud, you know, just mud, maybe
yeah, we talked
a
about that.
dandelion every once
You
in a
had
while.
you had the leather helmet.
Yes. Not much protection.
So see if Ashland can force them into
Woo! That's the
some
play
type
they
of
started the
mistake.
game with.
Pass complete to number 8.
Different.
Igor Rice.
Different receiver this time, Igor Rice.
Gain of 5.
Got out of bounds to
Second
stop
and
the
5
clock.
from the 25.
So Norwood is not sitting on this ball. They're going to take it down. And as as I watched their field goal kicker warm up before the game, and he's got a good foot. He was making them from 35.
I think the strategy for Norwood is get into the hands of your playmakers. We're seeing what they can do if they can avoid a tackle or two and see if something happens. Plenty of time.
They're going to throw again.
Oh,
Look out.
Deloria's and a great throw
Off the
to
back
Brian
foot.
Matea
Wow.
with Pat Deloria's closing in on him.
Boy, what a...
First down, Norwood.
Steve.
We've seen what Joe Steves can do, the senior quarterback.
Ball's at
And we
strong
talked
at
about in the
40.
pregame that he hadn't
35-yard line.
thrown the ball that much this year because he
35.
hasn't had to.
A minute and 42.
It'll be interesting to see what happened when Ashland forced him to throw, and we've seen that answer.
Clock is stopped. Somebody must have called a timeout. I don't know.
Out of
Why
bounds.
is oh, did he
Out
go
of
out?
bounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still only on the 35-yard line, but
Has either team called a timeout this half?
I don't think so. They really got to,
So they each
Make
have
sure they-
3 left, we think.
yeah, they got to make sure they keep them in bounds, force them to burn a timeout. Well, if they pick it up 20-yard chunks at a time, 15 yards, it's not going to matter.
Steves again.
Oh, 2 defenders,
The pass is
8
caught
yards.
Pro style.
by
Yeah,
Brian
he's just
Matea.
dropping them in there, nice
Yeah.
and.
Wow.
42-yard
perfect.
line. It
Very,
brings
very
up
difficult passes to
second-
complete.
Second and 3.
And that is his
And
favorite receiver.
out of bounds, everything.
Yeah,
They're
Brian
doing
Matea.
everything.
See if Coach McKay and Zakili can make an adjustment on defense to counteract that.
Pete Zakili is his defensive coordinator. And
I'm not sure. He's
Yeah.
wrestling coach. That I know.
So he's got to be on defense.
But obviously they don't want to give anything up deep, so they'll give him the underneath stuff. But with that much time,
He's going to pass again.
over the middle.
That was not accurate.
Pass attempted for number 44, Justin Skeel.
5 clockers in the
Incomplete.
vicinity.
Gillis, Troutman, Weiss, and
Third
who's
and
the other
three.
one?
Diaz?
Molesky.
42.
Yeah.
Third down, folks.
Weiss.
Antonek was there.
Weiss took the brunt of the hit. And the target on that was
Third and
Justin
three.
Scahill, number
Let's
44.
make some noise for the boys.
It's about as loud as you hear the Ashland crowd over the last few years.
129. Very little time off the clock on this drive.
Yeah, started with 156. They've run about 4 or 5 plays, and here's a timeout
That's a timeout.
by Norwood.
Timeout, Norwood.
Well, it's a
Something
big play.
to talk about, yeah. And why not? You still got a couple left in your back pocket.
Gives us a second to thank our crew tonight. Justin O'Brien, Mackie Kotab. What do we got working down? Is that Nick downstairs? Anybody listen? Tom Hamilton, that's who it was. Connor Donovan, I think Allison's here. Allison Rose. And thank our sponsors, Technoplex Flexibles and Marathon Deli.
It's a great combination, you know?
Right.
You go to, you spend the morning at Texiplex Flexibles, and then lunchtime you go over to the deli. Perfect
Third
day.
and 3, Norwood.
Huge third down. Single coverage down below. The big guy, big mismatch against Ethan Antonuk height-wise. When they hand it off,
Hand off to number 22.
it's to call.
Subod And he
Not a
picks
bad
up
call.
first down
No.
for Norwood, and as the ball's at the 50-yard
And now the
line.
clock's going to start after they move the chains. Norwood last week is
1
very
minute,
comfortable
20
with the
seconds
hurry-up
left in the
offense.
half.
As you see, they're ready to run. So 1:15 and running. Time again. Just past Luke Herter's outstretched arms. Brian Matea
The
again.
number 19,
Perfect pass.
Yeah. It's like
Amazing.
out of bounds at the 40.
NFL
Close to a
type
first down.
Yes.
precision.
Uh-oh.
And a flag on the play.
Ooh.
Finally.
Flag
They've
on
had
the play.
such a tremendous pass rush. Finally, they got called for a holding.
Only the second penalty of the game. Both have been against Norwood. And this one, a painful 10 yards after
The
a completion.
pregame analysis focused on 2 things:
Holding
turnovers,
offense, it's a
protecting the
10-yard
ball,
penalty.
and penalties, and making sure you don't shoot yourself in the foot. And Norwood may have done that here.
That is a killer on you.
Instead
In
of
your 2-minute offense,
yeah,
you know?
instead of 1st and 10 on the 45-yard line, it is now 1st and 22
They got 108.
with 1:08 to go.
First and 23.
Yeah, 23. As they enforce
Same formation every play.
trips left.
This is their 2-minute drill. He's going to try it himself. No!
Oh, he's wide open.
Brilliant. Lucky for the Clockers. His momentum carried him out.
Big game.
Boy, did
That's a
he
first
get,
down
did he
Norwood,
catch him by running
and
up to
the
that
ball's
line
at
of
the
scrimmage?
35-yard
Before he
line
let that ball go, it looked
with
like a
minute
run.
left in the half.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He bid on that run, left his receiver, nobody there to help, and fortunately it was Steve's worst throw of the night. Otherwise, that was an easy touchdown. With
He had to
minute
leap
go.
for that ball.
Minute to go, 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line of Ashland. Norwood down, design screen.
Screen pass, and the pass is
It's another first down.
Number,
Yeah, 14 yards.
number 22, Subod
So-
Ball.
50
That's another
seconds.
Norwood first down.
Take away that penalty, and the clock is getting steamrolled here.
Ball's at the 21-yard line.
Clock
First
is
down.
running. See which clocker can step up with the big play. As they hand it to
Handoff
DeCall,
to 22.
and he's into the end zone.
And he's still going. That's a touchdown, Norwood.
Clockers caught back on their heels there, Rob.
This is a good Norwood team.
No question about that now. Wow. Would they go 80 yards? They went 80.
80
Yeah.
yards after the touchback. In a minute, 21 seconds.
And they
Huge
overcame
penalty.
that holding penalty.
And this is a big extra point.
Pinpoint passing and some good runs. One for a touchdown from
Kick is good.
21 yards out.
With
He's
35 seconds
Suba
left
DeCall.
in the half. Ashland 14, Norwood 14.
Double deuce, 22.
DeCall's got 2 touchdowns, both on excellent runs,
Yeah, both outside the red zone.
totaling
83
about
yards
110 yards.
on those 2 runs
Yes,
alone.
yes, wow. So the battle continues, and it looks like Molesky and DeCall are going head-to-head here. And the quarterbacks have made their presence felt as well, with some excellent passing and running. I should say, in Joe Steve's case, fake running. That run up to the line of scrimmage before he let that pass go was a big play.
That was a
For the
good
Mustangs.
and a good job by his offensive line not to run downfield either.
He's had pretty good protection.
He has.
He got knocked down once, I saw.
At one time where they had him on the ropes, he laid it into Matea on the left. So we'll see if we can get another good run back.
What
in
do we got
maybe
left?
35 seconds. That's going to go to Gigliotti.
Gigliotti with the ball.
It's returnable.
Gigliotti is
Good
stopped
coverage by
at
the special team
number
of the
33.
Mustangs. Ashland's going to
looks like-
start deep with very little time, but a lot of timeouts left. See what Coach McKay wants to do.
First and 10 from the 32.
And it looks like the coaching staff here on the roof has decided to go down under, so I'm thinking
But unless that's part of the orchestrated, they're watching from up there.
Yeah, and
They report down that the coach's left is just going to take a knee, and then he whips one downfield.
it's actually a war-style handoff.
Yeah.
Handoff to Gigliotti. Gain of 6.
Is a timeout.
Yeah, McKay
Timeout,
takes a timeout.
Okay, he's not giving up on this
No.
20 seconds. I
Hey.
guess the 8 yards spurred him.
We've seen Molesky break too many runs this year to not give him a shot.
Well, almost every time he carries, it has a potential of being broken for a touchdown.
He's been extremely efficient at protecting the ball as well.
So we got 20 seconds and a 2nd and 2 coming up. Ashland, by our extremely unofficial calculations, are those the timeouts up on the board there, Rob? Or
So it's 2nd and 2. It says 3 and 3.
oh,
I don't
so they
think
never
they changed
deducted
it, right?
on anything.
But
yeah.
I think it is 2.
2nd and 2 from the 31.
Can't you just kind of fake like you're going to take a knee and just have somebody dart down the sideline?
I thought it was a knee formation, but it's not.
Pitches to Molesky.
Pitch to Molesky. He's still on his feet.
11 seconds to go.
The clock could run
8,
out before they blow
7.
the whistle.
6.7 to go.
Brought down by a gang of Norwood tacklers at the
So this
46-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 46.
This is where
with 6 minutes left in the 6 seconds left.
I think you just huck it down the field. Maybe you get an interference call. I mean, even if it's picked off, the likelihood that somebody's going to run it back if you throw a Hail Mary type pass is very unlikely.
Well, yeah, it's
Why not take
I don't
a
know
shot?
if Luke can hit the end zone from
Well, I don't
here.
think he has to
Yeah.
hit the end zone.
Okay.
You know, if you get a penalty or you get something,
Just get it down there and
maybe
see what
he's
happens.
got a hook and lateral play in the
Yep.
in the book that he. Now again, an interference is only 15 yards at this level.
But you get another play,
Yeah.
an untimed play.
So they're giving out some very explicit directions. It could be something kind of fancy. Expect Norwood to be well prepared and pretty deep with their defenders right now, just on the 40-yard line, their deepest.
They're not,
First and 10 from the 46.
I mean,
you know, they're back, but I wouldn't call it a prevent. You know, I guess it
No.
becomes a prevent once the ball
Plenty
is
of
snapped.
time.
They go long and deep. Couldn't catch up to it.
and that
Incomplete.
will end the half.
Intended for Max Phelan. And that will do it for the
He
first
didn't have the
half.
inside position, so there's no way he
No.
could even get to the ball.
No, but no.
But they took a
Ashland
shot
14, Norwood 14.
with no risk.
We will have it
So it was a good
50-50.
play. Halftime at
Raffle
Ashland High
coming
School.
up shortly.
Ashland 14, Norwood 14.
Today's sports coverage on WACA-TV is sponsored in part by Techniplex Flexibles, a globally integrated company focused on developing and manufacturing innovative packaging materials. The Ashland facility produces packaging for medical devices and essential products to help in the battle to treat and eliminate COVID-19.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Marathon Deli. Marathon Deli offers a full range of lunch and dinner items for dine-in or catering. Fine cold cuts, cheeses, and meats also available, in addition to specialty wraps such as the Mayflower wrap as well as the Honey Bee wrap. They'll be sure to get your mouth watering. Serving Metro West for over 24 years, give them a call at 508-231-1859 or find them on the web at marathondeli.com.
This field here on the plateau on the campus of Ashland High School. A thrilling first half in the books. It ends appropriately at 14-14, a tie game. Ashland and Norwood in what some people feel is a championship game for the Tri-Valley League Large Division Championship. And you know, Rob, I was looking at these mysterious MIAA ratings that come out, which are crucial to if you're going to get into the postseason tournament. And
Did you put it in your pocket? Or, oh, that.
yes, and Ashland, you know, they won last week easily, and they won big, and they fell 3 places in the rankings from 7 to 10.
I wonder if it had to do with Holliston getting thrashed by
Yes.
Norwood.
It's not only your it's not only your record, it's the strength of your opponents and the point differential up to 14 that all figure into the complicated equation. But in Norwood, who's having a fabulous year, also they're 15th. They're on the cusp in their division.
They're in the Division 3? And
Yeah.
we're, okay. They're a little higher than
There's
us.
3 teams. There's 3 teams in what you would call our division, for Division 4, I guess it is. Holliston is out, and another team, in Medfield maybe, they're out, and Ashland currently in at number 10. And Hopkinton is all the way up in Division 2. And they're,
Wow.
of course, they're not in the top 15, 16 either.
No, they're struggling this year.
And Norwood and who
That's-
else? Who's left? Norwood and I guess
Norwood,
Norwood's-
Westwood.
And Norwood and Westwood are in the similar
I
division.
think Westwood. Is Westwood up there?
No,
Well,
no, they're not.
but a quick recap as we watch these teams do their last-minute warm-ups before the second half. It's 14-14. Ashland took the opening kickoff and marched down the field pretty easily on the ground.
Very impressive fashion.
Capped
yes.
off by a 11-yard run by
Very impressive.
Andrew Molesky. And on the next drive, it was Norwood who got to midfield and couldn't head to punt. And Ashland driving again, very, very effective. And errant pass that sailed a little high by Herder was picked off by Norwood's Sean Steves. And they took it down. Actually, they didn't score. They did. Did they score on that drive, or was it, I think, back and forth? But ultimately, Norwood took over on their 17-yard line, and Subha DeCall broke it for 83 yards.
There was only about 5 minutes or 7 minutes left in the second period when he did that. Little did we know there was 2 more touchdowns to come.
Right, Ashland on the heels of a nice little reverse on the kickoff, got it up to Pat Twinell's, got it back to the 46-yard line. They would go into the end zone on a Luke Herder keeper.
That was a great start, a great way to answer the touchdown.
From 11 yards out.
That was a great call, too, the quarterback draw.
13 yards out. And with 1:56 to play, and then Norwood just methodically marched down the field, overcame a huge penalty, and it was once again Subha DeCall from the 21-yard line taking it in with 35 seconds, and that's where we are. Norwood set to receive.
Very impressive 2-minute drill by the Mustangs.
Agreed.
And their quarterback was an onside kick.
Oh, it hit the clocker, so it's going to be a penalty. If they saw it.
Before 10? Before 10, Rob?
Yeah. I don't think he saw it.
There's no flag that I see.
Recovered by Norwood.
Norwood got it anyway, so that...
It's got to go 10.
Yeah.
After it goes 10, of course, you can touch
He was trying to run. It was... I think it might have even been Gigliotti. He was running next to it, and he kind of...
Might have went off his thigh, yeah.
So
the result is a good field position for the Mustangs.
Norwood has 1st and 10 from
it definitely,
the 45-yard line.
It's good to, in a way, it's nice to see Norwood get the ball. Let's see if they, they're just exchanging balls. Okay. Oh, so they did. They did mark out the penalty, but the chains are on because it's not 1st and 5.
It's not a penalty. 10. It's where the ball is marked.
It's that's where it touched them.
That's where they mark it. It must be an automatic recovery. It must be a rule.
Or it was 10 yards from where it was recovered.
That could be
like
too.
That.
But we didn't see any yellow.
Right. But the eye in the sky did notice it.
Yes.
Norwood, Steve's back to pass, rolls out. He's probably going to keep this one. He throws it.
He used the same trick, and again it worked.
Pass is complete to number 8.
He rolls out.
Igor
Just when you
Rice.
think he's going to run it, he lets it go.
First down
If
to
a man
Norwood
comes
at
open.
the 35-yard line.
Joey Steve's very heady. Let me see.
And once again, a good job by the Norwood offensive line to stay home and not drift downfield.
They're not in the formation they used in the 2-minute drill. This is the formation they've used up until the 2-minute drill.
That was DeCall.
This is what you might call their standard offense.
Gain of 5,
Very
by
effective.
number 79, Jared Canning.
Canning on the stop for
2nd and
Ashland.
5.
Clocker
From the
defense
30-yard line.
needs a play somewhere along the line here.
And then he moved.
We'll take that. An easy 5.
Movement on the left side of the line. It's going to push Norwood back 5 yards.
It's not like making a defensive play, but every yard helps.
5-yard penalty.
When you had a team that had the ball
Replay, 2nd down.
at the end of the half and went 80 yards on you,
From the 35.
Right, and
and had no trouble getting a first down on this possession to start the second half.
Yeah, they were 1st and 23 or something, 2nd and 23. Had no problem with that. So it's going to take a big play by one of these clockers, as you mentioned, to shut down this Norwood offense that's in a nice groove.
There it is. There it is.
Handoff to number
Tackle for a
22.
loss.
Peter
Now a 3rd and
Gigliotti.
long.
Number
Tackled
40,
by
Peter.
Number 40, Peter Gigliotti.
The
Wow.
Clockers can make a play here on this 3rd and long.
Play.
You know, you might be
That's
looking
gonna
at
bring up third down
you might be
and
looking at a punt
14.
instead of a fourth down try.
Yeah, from this 3rd and 14, definitely.
Of course, they have a great punter too.
If they can get half of this, then they probably would go for it.
Something to think about. Yeah. See how close they get.
I don't think either one of these
Third and
teams wants to
13.
put the ball in the hands of the other offense. Do everything they can to keep it themselves. It's a handoff sweep. Some
Handoff
good
to
yardage.
19, Brian McKay, knocked out of bounds
2 yards short.
by Jake Troutman.
Pretty good gain, Rob.
Yeah, well, that's definitely enough to go
Not a
for it.
first down. It's gonna
3rd
be
and 3, 4th and 3.
Fourth down and 3. 4th down and 3, folks. Let's make some noise for the boys.
No question, Norwood going for it.
Do you think he throws this ball? Do you think he has the guts to?
It's their run formation. Unless he rolls out, we'll see.
Fakes
Oh, the up
pitch,
fake.
and they got him.
Handoff to number 22, but he stopped.
First time we've seen that play tonight, and the Clockers were all over it.
Ethan Antonuck and Luke Herter not faked out at all. Oh,
We have an injury timeout.
It's a Mustang down.
yeah, there were a lot of bodies in there.
Clockers hold. They make a defensive stop. 5-yard motion penalty hurt the Mustangs, and then a huge tackle for a loss.
By Peter Gigliotti.
Peter comes up big again today.
And that's their star running back, Subha Dakal, he was the one that ended up getting the ball.
Yeah, not a bad call. Not a bad call at all. We know that kid is dangerous.
Yeah, but hats off to McKay and his squad and that team for reading that. And here we go.
The second half war
A wing T,
formation.
a squish,
Wing T, the squish.
pitch to Molesky,
Handoff to Molesky.
running through people again. 7.
That's what you like on first down. 5 or better, if you can get it.
Ball is out to the
It opens up
3rd
everything.
and 4-yard line. It looks like it's 2nd and 4.
And it's interesting how
Second and
McKay doesn't sprinkle it in here and there. He just second half breaks it out, and he'll just stay with it. Herter keeps it.
Quarterback keeper.
Gets about 1.5 yards, maybe 2. Fake the pitch to Gigliotti.
No huddle.
Yeah, taste of their own medicine.
Usually means a sneak. It is a sneak.
Beautifully
Quarterback
done.
keeper.
Is that Tom Brady back there?
Tom has the knack, though, doesn't he?
They're moving the chains, folks. That must be an Ashland.
So he
First
gets 3
down.
yards, needed 1, and that's a first down for the Clockers.
First
So
and
after
10
a
for the
huge
39.
defensive stand, Ashland looking to drive down and go back on top, score tied 14-14 in what could be most likely the Tri-Valley Large title game. Herter keeps it again.
Herter again. Short gain.
Well,
Well, this is
3
the
there,
second
Bob.
year in a row that the Norwood game has been
Second and 8.
crucial.
From the 41.
The final in the spring 2 season was 21-14, which could be the number again. He's setting up for something. And it was last year that they actually leaked, I think it was Molesky into the,
Molesky with the carry.
Clockers keep
It's
blocking.
close.
See that? They keep blocking downfield.
right, because they know Molesky is never done.
He might be right behind you.
Down. It looks like it's going to be
Pick up about
3rd
6
and
or 7.
1.
And they are ready to go. Refs don't even have time to spot it. Good push forward.
Quarterback keeper.
Look at Herter falls forward for 4 yards.
The Clocker offensive line has been tremendous.
But they ran this play
First down.
And last year, when it was tied 14-14, Ashland snuck one of their running backs out into the backfield, hit him wide open for the touchdown. I can't remember which player caught it.
Dylan Drozak, 74, Michael D'Souza. They've come up big.
Pitch to Gigliotti.
Gigliotti with the carry.
Good yardage.
Oh, they
Protecting
tried to
the ball.
strip him. They tried to strip
Yeah.
him.
He immediately put that other hand on there. 7 yards.
Hunter Roby is playing a big game, too.
Yeah. Number 52, Leo Bovenscholt. Jared Canning, 79. Just a sophomore, I think, Canning. Is he? Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
2nd and 3. I know.
Herder keeps it again. Got a lot of bodies to run over. Gets down to the 40.
3rd and short coming.
2 yards, 3 yards, so yeah.
Quarterback carry to the 40-yard line.
Comes over to get the play directly from Coach McKay.
Not a bad time to try something fancy. Pitch to Gigliotti.
Gigliotti with the handoff.
3 yards and a first down.
Clock running. Around 5.5
And they're
to
moving
go in the
chains.
3rd
It
period.
must be an Ashland first down. First and 10 from the Norwood 37.
So the clock is methodically moving down the field in this wing T offense. Pitch to Molesky.
Molesky with the carry.
He squeezed through. He's gone. And Molesky breaks out of the pack as he's done all year. 37 yards and an Ashland touchdown.
I was waiting for that, Rob. Out of the pack he came. Clockers take the lead. 5 minutes left in the 3rd period. 20 to nothing.
With the snap.
Giglia's extra
Jack
point.
McGough with the hold, and John Gillia for the extra point attempt.
Just incredible.
It's a they go
They
into
go
a
in for the
2-point.
2. McGough pitches to Molesky. He keeps on his feet and he's in.
Molesky brings it in for 2.
You know, they say,
2-point conversion.
you know, you've heard this, the percentages are on this, the go-ahead touchdown to go for the 2 on the 3rd touchdown. And Coach McKay, always something different, goes for 2, and the Clockers go up 22-14. That puts the pressure right on the Norwood Mustangs.
2-point conversion with 5:08 left in the 3rd quarter. It's Ashland.
And because
You know, it's a whole different feeling, Rob, knowing that your next touchdown is not enough.
Exactly. And he's got enough confidence
Yeah.
in the defense that if they did for some reason not make.
Yeah.
But again, they had Molesky in the backfield at
He
stumbled.
short. He stumbled a little. You know,
stumbled like he did.
he could have gone
and
down,
he
but he doesn't.
kept his balance.
Yes.
And he just kept the feet moving and
I
punched
saw
it
that
through.
too. I saw him kind of go horizontal there, short of the goal line.
That's why I call him the Weeble. He just does not go down. He wobbled a little there.
3 touchdowns, all of Ashland's touchdowns, all, and their 2-point conversion.
Herder had that second touchdown.
Did he? Of course he did, yes.
But it was Molesky that cleared the path for
Of
him.
course he did, yes. That quarterback draw, great play.
So Gillia kicking off. Last time it was a pretty impressive touchback. Well, actually, an onside attempt last time. Sorry.
At the 5.
25.
Put his head down and got snowed
Tackled
under.
by 19, Jack McGough. And number 16, Patrick Dwinell.
Do you notice it was McGough and Dwinell's, but do you notice how we're always calling a different number, a different player? It's not.
First and 10.
I mean, one of the biggest
Norwood
tackles of the night was
25.
Gigliotti on that second down, third down.
It's a true team.
Just everybody. Because Dylan Drozik, probably one of the most talented players on both sides of the line for Ashland. But that's who they're keying on. They'll double team him and negate him, and that's fine. They get enough players that can step up and fill his shoes. Steves airs it out, and a good tackle by Rimza.
Jake Rims on
It's
the tackle
Igor Reese.
after a gain of 8.
Reese has had 3 receptions, I think, today.
Joe Steves, excellent on those sideline passes.
He's got to be like 10 for 11.
He rifles them.
Does he even have an incomplete pass today?
Jeez, that is a very good question. I can't say I've seen many broken up. Over the middle, he threw into traffic once.
Yeah. Yep.
No, nobody there.
Hands to DeCall. He's hit immediately, but gets the first. He's still moving.
He's trouble.
Hand off to Subad DeCall.
He's trouble. You can't take your eye off him.
One of their linemen a little slow getting up and goes back down. That's number 59 for Norwood, Dylan Vaughter. Tried to walk off, and now he's going to try again. But Norwood does get the first down.
Coach McKay shouting some instructions to his defense. He's not completely happy with that play. We've done great on the sweeps. Up the middle, we've been a little bit vulnerable on occasion. Both times by DeCal. Oh,
snap.
We swarm him. Oh, he's open. He's got it. Touchdown saving tackle.
Yeah, that was
at Antonuck.
Ryan Flynn.
That's one of his favorite targets, Ryan Flynn. He's had at least 3 catches as well tonight.
That saved the touchdown. Antonuck's tackle.
Yeah.
Man, that was a big strike.
And if that game took place 2 weeks ago, that might have been a touchdown because Antonuck was playing most of the season with a broken finger. He had a big cast on his hand. He wouldn't have been able to really wrap him up, trip him up as effectively.
Not easy to bring down those receivers who have a head of steam on you.
No, that was another perfect pass.
Steves keeps it.
Oh, shifty move.
Steves on the
Not much different from the Herder touchdown move.
tackle by Jake Troutman.
Clark has
Gets about-
contained him, but man, it's 8 yards.
8
Rob.
yards.
And
Yeah.
Jared Canning.
They had him in the backfield.
Ball's at the 17. 2nd and 2.
If you try to bunch up the middle, they go outside.
And on that pass that he made to Ryan Flynn, you see him directing the traffic. He was directing him like, just go. He's kind of waving him down there. Good communication.
Yeah, the backs get all the attention.
Smart.
The running game gets all the attention for Norwood, but Joe Steves knows what he's doing.
It's an all-star backfield right there. And DeCal
Handoff to
breaks
22.
another one.
Trouble. Oh,
No, it's a fumble.
lost it along the
He
way.
called him in.
I think he was in.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
And of course, there's no review of any kind. Once those arms go up, that's it.
Yeah, the ground caused the fumble. Just great breakaway strength by DeCal. His third touchdown of the night.
Now, I guess you go for 2, right, Rob?
Oh, yeah.
22-20, Ashland still with the lead. How do you keep DeCal out of the end zone here?
Similar to the 4th down, 4th and 3 play.
Norwood's lining up for a 2-point conversion.
They do have DeCal to
Make
the
some
right.
noise.
They hand off to Mateer. He's short. He fumbled.
With a stop.
They
Stopped him.
Anderson
Wow.
with a stop.
There was nothing. There was not a gap of 1 inch in that,
2-point conversion is no good.
in that offensive
So
line
leaves
for
you
that
with
back
2
to
minutes
go
and
through.
22 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Ashland 22, Norwood 20.
Tough to imagine not giving it to DeCal in that spot.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're doing a naked boot or you're trying to pass to a tight end uncovered.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really blame him either way. DeCal got the last one on that 4th down and was tripped up.
Yep.
But they stopped him, and I think
But he's had success tonight.
And Mateer's no stiff, that's
No.
for sure. So it's very similar to the Ashland running backs with Molesky and Gigliotti. Not much of a drop-off at all.
22-20. The Clockers hold the lead. Short and high. Received.
Jake Keaveney with the ball.
Keaveney protecting that ball. And
Keaveney's knocked out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Norwood player holding on a little aggressively. Out of bounds.
Flags few and far between tonight, Rob.
Yeah, it's going to have to be something really flagrant for them.
It
to
seems
toss
that way, doesn't it?
Which is fine. I mean, I think they're going to call it the same on both
And
sides.
we've had have we had one holding tonight?
33
We had the hold against
We've had one holding
Norwood,
and two illegal
Motion.
procedures. Yeah.
and Ashland's ready to go.
Same offense they've been using this half.
Gigliotti.
Third
Hand
put.
off to Gigliotti. Nice. Gang tackle.
About 2.5 yards.
Third period action.
Forward progress gain of
High on the
2.
plateau here at Ashland High School. William Cunis Field.
2 minutes.
Rob Silver and Bob Thacker with you. Live on Facebook and YouTube. October 22nd, 2021.
Pitch to
Hand off
Molesky.
to Molesky.
Norwood read that one. Stopped him with a 2-yard gain. Troutman Weiss coming in.
3. Brings up 3rd
Antonin
down.
Gigliotti, Canning coming out, and Gillis coming to the sidelines. And now an injury. For Norwood, that's number 64, Matt Alves, the senior.
Quickly up. I like that.
If this was the NFL, some people might say it was intentional. You
There's
know
been
how
a-
you get all that stuff.
There's been a
in
sniff
the
of
old
that.
days.
There's been a sniff of that in college football this year.
No. He's definitely,
Brings
they're
up
definitely not
3rd
doing
and
it. It's
5
third quarter as well,
on the
but
38-yard line.
so now they go back to regular offense on 3rd and 5. Herter drops back to pass, and he hits him.
Pass is caught.
Oh, and a good second effort by Rimza.
With the catch.
No question, that's a first down.
He had it, and he went back on his own. Had he got tackled back there, I think they would have marked him
And they're
short.
moving the
But
chains. It must be in Ashland.
he was able to lunge back on the other side of the first down marker. Huge, huge play. Good coverage as well.
First and 10
Very
for
good
the
pass.
44.
Rims is fired up on the sidelines as he should be. Ashland 1st and 10 on their 44-yard line, leading 22-20. Another pitch to Molesky, who glides over the
Back of a
pile.
defender.
8 of 5.
like
Surfing there
yeah,
for
like
a minute.
when you go to those rock concerts, Bob.
It's crowd surfing.
Crowd
yeah.
surf, that's exactly. 2nd and 5, and that's going to be, I think, the last play of the quarter. I don't think Ashland's in any hurry. The clock is definitely on their side.
I never had any trouble with that crowd surfing. No one wanted to pick me up. You know?
Oh,
It's just
That will be
too
the
much
end
to.
of
One.
the 3rd quarter.
and we're at zeros here in the 3rd quarter.
22. Norwood
Another exciting stanza.
It's both teams have offenses that would give you worries, you know.
Yeah.
And last time Norwood had it, the Clockers did get a stop, but when Norwood got it back again, they took it in. And They've showed us everything. Norwood has showed us everything they have, including an extremely effective 2-minute drill that they put away here in the second half. They haven't been using it, but that's got to be in the back of Coach McKay's mind.
Yeah, and
That when time starts to get tight in the fourth period, beware of Joey Steves.
Yeah. Get ready to start this third quarter, or 2nd and 5. But the big difference is McKay forcing the issue. He knew he was going to go for 2 at some point,
yes.
so he's been working on this all week.
But how nice is it to
Norwood's coach.
to shift out of the formation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Norwood's coach is like, okay, now I have to go for 2.
That's
I'm sure
right.
he's practiced it, but
Yes,
he
that's
wasn't,
right.
like you said, it kind of puts them in a
2nd and 5.
tough position. So
And
rims
one
are
other thing
down
I
the bottom.
mentioned, both teams with good field goal kickers.
Hand off to Molesky. Gets about 4 as, again,
With the
just
carry.
rides the back
Out
of the
to
pile.
47-yard line.
He is half a yard
31.
short.
Injury time.
Another injury.
Looks like a cramp. Trainer busy tonight, mostly on the Westwood side.
Yeah. So gives us a chance to give a shout out to our trainer, Amy Mendoza, and our athletic director, Stephen Marks.
These are big nights for the athletic department. I notice Steve has an administrative assistant.
He needs it.
Yeah.
Needs it.
So they're like a four-person team. Steve, his assistant, and Amy comes under his staff, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what the fourth person would be, but
Yeah, just logistically everything that needs to happen.
it's
I
a
know
ton
one
of
of the
work.
games yesterday, I think, was postponed. They couldn't get a bus for bus over the JV squad for one of the schools they were facing in field hockey yesterday.
buses are a nightmare.
3rd and 1. Ashland.
So here we go, 3rd and 1. 11:30 to go. Once again, Herder
Quarterback keeper.
says, "I'll do it myself. I got a big line in front of me." He
I
gets
like
3 yards.
splitting out
They're moving the
two
chains.
receivers. You know,
Must
that
be
takes
an
two
Ashland.
defenders away from the ball.
So with the score 22-20, don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but if they can push it in, and our trusty extra point man, John Gillia, that would make it a 2-score game. But first things first, as Ashland faces
There's a lot of scenarios, isn't there?
Yeah, 1st and 10 on the 44. Herder keeps
Herder
it,
on the keeper.
breaks 1 tackle, gets a yard.
Minimal gain of 1.
Could have
So
lost
that'll
a
be
couple.
2nd and 9.
Who's coming in? Matt Gillis is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Clark is generally, and let's face it, most teams generally in high school, at least in the TVL, don't really throw to their tight ends. And that's his listed position.
Is it? Could be.
Yeah, linebacker, tight end.
Yeah, he is a strong athlete. They'd like to throw to him underneath and let him set up a block. Molesky gets it. He's hit immediately. Scoots forward for about 4,
Molesky with
maybe
the carry.
3.
Good tackling that time.
Ball spotted at the 42. 3rd and 8.
Yeah, stingy with the spots on this drive.
You gotta get the Norwood linebackers out of the mix somehow.
Who's 74 for us? Is that
That's
Wilby?
your friend Mike D'Souza,
Yes, Mike D'Souza. Okay,
the senior.
thank you.
He's been heroic tonight.
So, drops back to pass.
Oh, Ooh,
And
ouch.
Rimza,
Complete.
Ouch. Beautiful pass.
4th and 8.
And now we're in a very thorny 4th and long. And it looks like we're going for it.
I mean, there's the potential that he does a quick kick, but I
4th
don't
and 8, and
I don't
they're
think
going
so.
for it.
Fearless.
And he's got it
4th and 8, Jake Rimza.
right back to Rimza.
What a big play.
Jake Rimza
Great
with the
pass,
catch.
great catch by
Touchdown,
Rimza.
Ashland.
You
Redemption.
You gotta love that they go right back to him.
1st and 10.
And you gotta love.
31.
Everybody loves that kid, by the way. So
He
you
shook off that drop and made the big play for the first down.
I mean, everybody felt bad when he dropped it.
And Luke,
Not
Luke
because
put it
the-
right there. It could not be intercepted Luke Brady style.
Yeah, it was
Only
just a
his man can catch it.
perfect throw. That's 2 huge first downs that Rimza has been on the receiving end in this last
1st and 10.
half.
31.
Gigliotti in motion, gets the handoff,
Gigliotti
wide,
outside. There goes
got some
Gigliotti.
room.
You know, that wasn't far from a touchdown.
No, some good closing speed by, it was actually DeCall that made the tackle for Norwood. That explains the closing speed.
Ball is at the 24.
You know who's doing a fantastic job is our center, Patrick Delarius. He has been sensational. I see him blocking downfield on that play, fighting off that kid, that defender.
And I'm glad you mentioned it because I failed to give them the recognition that they deserve. It's
And don't forget
lot of
all those
times.
quarterback sneaks right behind him.
hand off to Gigliotti. He bounces it open to the outside,
Ladies and gentlemen,
down to the 6-yard line.
Good tackle, or that would have been 6.
18 yards.
ball's down to about the 5-yard line. 1st and goal from the 5.
See where they marked that. They're going to mark it right on the 5, just outside the 5. 1st and goal.
7:22 to go. Clock running as they move the chains.
Clockers have had this ball, what, 4.5, 5 minutes already?
Yeah,
This
just
period?
before
They've had it the whole period.
yeah, just before the end of the third quarter, they had one play with about a minute to go. 49 seconds.
Oh, look what we're back into.
Pitch to Molesky. He's got the touchdown.
Will not be denied.
Touchdown.
Number 3 for Andrew Molesky tonight.
What a great job of just clearing the way for Molesky. I mean, he's got great vision, but you still have to have the people in front of you to lay those blocks. Molesky with his second 3-touchdown game of the season,
John Gillia in
and
the extra
a
point attempt.
huge extra point.
Trying to make it a 9.2 possession game. Snap back, ball down.
Good penetration.
Kick is
It's
up,
good.
and it is good. With 6:58 left in the
Timeout on the field.
Ashland 29, Norwood
Ashland
20.
29 and Norwood 20.
That's bigger than any field goal that he's made in his career. That was the biggest extra point, I think, of his high school career.
A real test coming up for the Ashland defense. I don't know if they're going to try another onside kick. I wouldn't blame them because you don't want the Norwood Mustangs to have the ball on offense.
No, they definitely they'll kick this downfield. Norwood's got
I
two
would
things
think.
two things to worry about. They got to score, and they got to score fairly quick, and then they got to figure out a way to shut down Ashland's offense, as they really haven't done that tonight. Outside of the interception,
Yeah, which is
and-
going to be a lot tougher here in the fourth period to get a
Yeah.
play like that where you can pick off a ball, you know?
So, yeah, I mean, if Ashland can play some tough defense, back up there, number 14. There you go.
The onside kick relies a lot on surprise, and that's gone out the window. So I would think they would go long, and they do.
Another beautiful kick.
Returnable at the 4.
At the
Little
5-yard
bobble.
line.
Oh!
What a tackle! Number 19.
McGough just leveled that guy.
Whew.
That's Jack McGough. Yes, that's right.
Great work on Ashland special teams all
Ryan
night long.
Keneally
All night long.
on the return.
1st and 10 from the 17.
And Jack McGough
Get-
planted him.
Get ready for the Joey Steves show right now.
I'm not gonna jinx this, but they just have to protect against the big play. Drozek being held. He gets hit.
Big hit.
Oh,
Oh,
Big play out to the 40,
caught.
24-yard claim.
Mateer.
Number 19, Brian Mateer, brought down.
Boy, is
at the
Steve's
40-yard
accurate.
line.
God, Dylan Drozek had a beat on Joey Steves, and they were grabbing his shirt.
Yeah, he was under pressure. He had to get rid of that ball. He saw the pressure coming.
And just perfect again. Take as much time as you want. So Norwood trailing 29-20 on their own 40-yard line, 1st and 10 with 6:10 to go and the clock running.
Troutman, the free safety, he's under pressure way back for Ashland.
Pick
A
up
9-yard gain.
Yeah, McGough again.
For the reception. Gain of 9.
I mean, if they're going to huddle up, we'll give
Second
them
and
8 yards, 9 yards.
From the 49. 2nd and 1.
I'd like to see them get to Steves,
Yeah.
but he releases quick. He doesn't wait around. He doesn't scramble. And when he has, it's been that fake run to spring a receiver open.
So 5:30 to go.
4
2nd and
wide
1.
receivers and a back in the backfield, presumably Dackel.
Mateer, no, Steve keeps it.
Wow,
He was hit hard.
Jeez.
Tackled by number
He's a
52,
big target
Leo
too, bro.
Walenshaw.
He's all right. He gets up, runs over to get the play from his coach.
1st and 10, Norwood from the 43.
Clock
Manny
start.
Lopes,
43.
the coach of the Norwood Mustangs, wildly successful in his 3 years at the helm, as far as I could tell.
What a game.
Everything we hoped for, including the 9-point Clocker lead so
Looked
far.
like he moved a little early. Drozek gets a hand on him,
Watch
forces
out,
him out.
watch
Where's
out.
the hold? There's the flag.
That's his play. It works
That's
again.
all for naught. All for naught.
Flag on the play.
That's his
Flag on the
great play. He did it again. He runs to the line of scrimmage and lets it go.
The Norwood fans haven't realized it's coming back.
It's in the holding territory. Let's see what the
Yeah,
call
they had
is.
great pressure on him, and
He had the
It's a
hold.
holding on Norwood.
Touchdown called back.
10-yard penalty
From
from the
the-
spot of the foul.
so that will make it a 1st and 23.
Clockers catch a break.
I'm not sure if they start the clock again, but if they do,
Moves the
that
ball
sure
back
is
to the 44.
going to work in Ashland's favor. I think they do.
1st and
Is it?
First and 23.
I know in the
Yeah.
NFL, at the last minute of the game, you get into those weird 10-second runoff rules.
Yeah,
and,
the clock didn't start.
No, not after the penalty. It's there.
Oh, just
Off the
tipped
fingertips.
away.
Off the fingertips.
Igor Reese, the
Broken
target.
up by
Ethan
Jake
Antonov
Troutman.
and Jake Troutman.
Boy, does he throw a good ball, Bob.
2nd and 23.
He
That
had it
ball
for a
was
minute.
there.
I think if it was Mateer or
He does not hesitate to release.
Flynn, they might have had it.
And give his receivers credit. They're getting down there. They're getting off the ball. Joey Steves trying to bring the Mustangs back. They're down by 9 points, and they've only got 4.
They didn't even
49.
they didn't start the clock on that last play, by the way.
Never started?
No, 4:43. How about starting it when they snap the ball?
Ooh, lots of motion.
They moved.
Nope. No play.
That's false start, offense.
Another 5 yards.
5-yard penalty.
2nd and 28.
Is the Ashland defense causing that? I saw
That
it
one I
once they
think
did.
But
Is that
yeah,
the second one they've caused?
I'd have to watch the replay because I don't know if Ashley moved because he flinched or if he flinched
No,
because
yeah, you see it.
28.
they watch so closely that it's, for any little flinch and they're ready to pounce on it.
I saw her play in a college game last weekend that I never saw before. A defender was called for yelling out the signals.
Oh,
The quarterback
simulating.
types.
Oh, and
yeah.
with the clapping too.
Yes.
I've seen that.
And there was a penalty.
Yeah, in the a lot of, I think it was the Florida game. Well, whatever. Clock is running this time. Some time. Oh, and a good job by McGough. Oh, excuse me, Molesky to jump in there.
Andrew Molesky.
Who tried to jump the route?
Good pressure by a defensive
Not
line.
sure.
He's right there. He's right on the yard line on the 45 now.
Rimza.
That was Rimza tried to jump the route. The
The
ball went over
the
his head.
basketball player, yeah. He's got some good leaping ability.
He thought he was going to get a hand on that ball, but it was just too
3rd
high.
and 28.
It was not the worst throw in the world. Again, it was kind of close. If it wasn't for
28.
Molesky
Let's
sticking
make
with it.
some noise for the boys.
Watch for Norwood to use one of their sideline patterns
That-
to try to get a chunk of this, but not all of it.
3rd and 28.
They've had some success.
Oh, they're holding.
Oh,
and Gillis gets it.
The sack!
Along with Dylan Drozek.
Matty Gillis.
Matt Gillis?
Yeah, Gillis and Drozek.
Matt Gillis, number 9.
Drozek forced him right into Gillis. He turned and they were both there.
Ball's at the 27.
Dylan Drozek, number
Fourth and a
59.
mile.
Big play. They finally got to him. First time tonight, maybe. And not
So it's
one, but
23.
2 clockers in on that.
33. It is
It's 4th.
It's 4th and 40 yards.
Clockers in a very deep defensive backfield. The pressure will be on Troutwine and Keegan Weiss.
I mean, they're going to throw it over the middle and hope they break some.
Norwood will be
Patrick
on
Donnells is back there.
Good job. Good decision by McKay to take a timeout. 3:28 to go. Clockers leading 29-20. Norwood facing a 4th and 40 on their own 27-yard line.
One thing I would tell my defensive backs if I was Coach McKay, when that quarterback on this play, 4th and 40, runs up to the line of scrimmage, stay with your man. Even if he starts to run, we got plenty of time to
Right.
tackle him and take over the ball on downs.
Definitely.
Do not bite.
Yeah.
It's a little different story when it's a 4th and 4, you know.
Yeah.
You got to come up.
Yeah. And the reality is you only need to rush a couple guys.
And, you know, Norwood passing on every down now. And that tires both lines. That tires your pass protection as well as your defensive line.
I think, McKay's also going to tell them no penalties.
Oh, the last thing you want to do is rough that quarterback
Rough the
or
quarterback,
rough anybody.
face mask,
Yes.
whatever it is, something stupid when
Yep.
you're not thinking.
Mhm.
Again, give them 30 yards, give them 39 yards. We don't care. Just don't give them 40.
Well,
And
personal fouls usually result in automatic first downs, I think.
Yep.
4th and 40.
So they can give
Out
up
of
a
mine.
chunk.
This could be the game.
This is
Less than 4 minutes to play.
quite the prevent defense. He
Deep.
hurls it down there.
Caught!
That's caught.
First down! Wow!
I don't know if it is. I think he may be.
Wait a minute.
He's right at the line.
First down.
He's right at the line. It's a measurement.
Did he go out?
Close.
Wow.
It's a measurement.
Oh, brother.
No, it's a first down.
First down, Norwood.
What a play. 40 yards exactly in the air. Well, 40 plus the drop back. And he out-leapt the defense and got the first down.
The
Ball's at
clock's running.
33-yard line.
3:13
Clock
to
restarts. The Mustangs are not dead. They go to the
go.
ground.
Huge stop right there. Huge stop.
That's a play that keeps the clock running. Westwood eschews the timeout. Clock will continue to run. They go to a no huddle. They're looking at their wrists. Norwood Mustangs in white, driving here in the fourth period. They trail by 9.
Never easy. As he scrambles,
Ooh, a
throws
wobbler.
it downfield.
Incomplete
A
pass.
wobbler.
We got a flag on the play.
Where's the flag? Oh, it's back in holding territory. Jeez,
I think they did it on purpose. They're more efficient when they're second and long.
why would you be holding on that play?
Holding against
Didn't he roll out? I mean, that
He
holding,
rolled out. He was way
that
beyond
holding is
anybody.
nowhere near anything.
No.
You're not protecting your quarterback there. Of course, it's instinct. A lot of it's instinct, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
The guy starts to go around you, you hook him.
The spot of the foul.
Let's watch it on virtual replay.
You know what?
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Second and 23.
I mean, but it's never easy. It's never, you know, like you
Yeah.
would think. And it always gives McKay something to build on. And there's the pick.
That's it. Jake Rimza.
Rimza at the 25 picked it off. He cut in front of the receiver.
22.
Ashland ball, 2:28 to go with a 9-point lead.
Ashland first
So
down
Rimza, who
to the
didn't even play
25
football his
yard
first
line.
2 years of the program,
2:28
steps up
left in the
huge
ballgame.
with a couple massive
Jake
fourth
Rimza,
down conversions
the senior
and an
defensive
interception.
back. Wow, what a play.
Seal the deal. They've had trouble over the middle. That's the only place where he hasn't been able to complete it. Because Ashland has just been kind of clogging that.
Again, we're never sure. The scoreboard never tells us, but we think Norwood has all 3 of their timeouts,
Pitch to
Handoff
Molesky.
which is going to require an Ashland first down, or Norwood will get the ball back
Timeout
again.
Norwood. Second and 9.
Mustangs take their first timeout, as they must.
So do they have all the police presence so they don't rush the field?
Well, you know, Steve Marks, the athletic director at Ashland High School, he wants the goalposts to be saved, and he's instructed the security detail to protect those goalposts. We don't want them torn down. They're too expensive to replace.
Good point. Good point. I'm sure the security will be surrounding the goalpost momentarily. Right now, they're wide open for anybody.
Let's see, they got the shields, you know.
What a good
Second
game.
and 8 from the
A really
27.
clean game. I thought it might get chippy with,
2 minutes and
you know,
25 seconds left
both
in the game.
teams.
Great plays on offense, great plays on defense, great plays on special teams.
Yeah, nothing. No late hits. Nothing really. You know.
No
cheap shots.
foolishness.
But
Just
both
football.
Played,
Just football, yeah. On a beautiful football night, got a little cool,
Yeah.
starting to feel a little October chill.
So it is.
And the trees, the beautiful colors. Oh, well.
Second and 8. Scoreboard says third and 8. It's second and 8. 2:25 to go.
We're out of the war formation.
Handoff to Molesky.
Hand off to Molesky.
They're trying as hard as they can to strip that ball.
He gets it up to the 30, not much more, and another
Down
timeout.
to the 30-yard line. 3rd and 5. Up,
So
timeout.
a lot of special things happening tonight with Andrew Molesky, 3 touchdowns. Andrew Molesky going over 1,000 yards.
A big 2-point conversion.
Luke Herter with a touchdown of his
beautiful
own
run.
and some just clutch passes.
Great play calling, great defensive plays, interceptions,
The 2-point
both sides
conversion.
of the ball.
Yeah, the 4th down stop and 4th and 3 when Norwood
Stop
was
the
picking.
2-pointer down here.
Yeah.
Clock has stopped Norwood's attempt at the 2-pointer, which Norwood couldn't do for Ashland, and it's playing a big part in this 4th period.
They're just such a scrappy club. They just make the key plays when they have to make the key plays. So
3rd and 5.
I'm expecting,
from the 30.
I'm going to make the play call. I'm going to say you give it to Molesky one more time,
19 seconds left
see
in
if he can
ball
get the
game.
5 yards and ice it for him. Herter to Molesky,
Quarterback keeper.
and there's
Oh,
the 5 yards.
Molesky, sorry.
6 yards, and that's the ball game.
Woo! What a big play.
They're not moving him yet. They're moving the chains, ladies and gentlemen. That must be an Ashland first down.
And this, for all intents and purposes,
Timeout, Norwood. 1st and 10 from the 36.
gives Ashland the TVL large title for their 3rd year in a row.
Well, one big game after this one.
Yeah, I mean, and you're going into Medfield, and then they play. But even if they beat Medfield, lose to Hopkinton, they're 4-1. Head-to-head, they've now beaten Holliston and Norwood. So ties, they would be the winner by
Yeah.
head-to-head.
Be
Last
difficult.
year, because it was the COVID, they didn't really go with.
Tiebreakers, yes.
It was a weird thing. Holliston ended up like 3-2 because they had
Yes.
a forfeit because of COVID, where they would have been 4-1, probably. Had to play somebody out of their division to get a 5th game on there. I think it was Wayland or some Lincoln Sudbury, a tough team that they lost to. But
1st and 10 from the 36.
That Lincoln Sudbury's a powerful
Norwood has
team.
No timeouts remaining.
yeah, I think they're playing Wayland.
And Ashland High graduate Danny Sullivan is an assistant coach of that Lincoln Sudbury team.
I mean, they really only need to take a knee, but they'll hand it off to Molesky.
Hand off to Molesky.
He's got to be about 150.
Gain of 8.
Nice going, Mark.
2nd and 2.
Do you have the list of all the coaches? You had it last week.
I was just looking for it, and I just found out Norwood's a division ahead of us, by the way.
Yeah, I thought there were 3.
Yeah. And that's why they played all those non-league Division III opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Silver
So-
Lake, places you never heard of, never been to. Silver Lake.
Its name's Silver, though.
It turns out it's in
Wanna go there.
Kingston, Mass.
That doesn't help me. They're all down on like the South Shore or something like that.
It's in
or
that
is
weird
it-
Rockland area, I think.
Okay.
And the but you know, there used to be a Silver Lake in Newton, you know, near Nonantum, but they filled it in.
Oh,
It was a different time. What do we got left? 1-2-7. Norwood is hoping Ashland continues to run the ball so they can get a strip.
I mean, they don't have to. Norwood can't have any timeouts left.
I think that was the third and final
Yeah.
if they have 3.
All they have to do is take a knee twice. But if they're going to play, yeah, now they're in the victory formation, I believe.
What down is it?
Second.
Okay.
Well, they'll hand it off. Interesting.
Hand off to Molesky.
One more first down just for the heck of it.
Very close. Clockers think they have it.
They do.
They are moving the chains, ladies and gentlemen. That must be an Ashland first down.
That should do it with 1:12 to go. A couple of knees. And the clock starts running.
First and 10 from the 47.
A tremendous
1
game
minute to go in the game.
here tonight
Clock
on the
is running.
plateau. William Cunis Field at Ashland High School. And Ashland on the verge of a 29-20 victory. It's going to make them 7-0 on the season and 3-0 in the large division of the Tri-Valley League. Medfield next week, and then Hopkinton at Medfield, by the way, and then Hopkinton at home on Thanksgiving morning. Congrats all around on the great coaching staff. Coach McKay and his staff, Pete Zakilli, Jason Mead, Mark McKay. Done a fantastic job
Clock is running down.
this year and every year during McKay's 11-year run.
1.
That's
And
it.
That's the ball game. Ashland 29, Norwood 20.
The biggest game in the TVL division of the season goes to the Clockers by a score of 29-20. And boy, did that two-point conversion come up big, you know?
It was as good as a touchdown.
Yes.
It just changed the whole complexion of the game.
You know,
Like you said it. You and I both very comfortable because you didn't worry if they scored as they did.
Yes. You know, and it works against the other team too, mentally. You know, at least if you're within a touchdown, you know that you have a chance on any particular play of tying the game up. One play. When you're down 9, it's going to take 2,
Right.
3, 4 plays. Great win. Norwood had an excellent team. They played great. They just couldn't stop Molesky, especially at the beginning of the game when they had to stop him. They couldn't. And
he
Luke
just-
Hurd are very heady at quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, he must have had 4 or 5 first downs with the quarterback keeper. Great job protecting the ball as well, because you're in there with
Yep.
a bunch of people
Yep.
trying to strip it from you.
Very
He's
good ball
climbing,
handling.
He's walking over
Yeah.
bodies, falling to the ground, and they just did a great job protecting the ball. The only mistake was the interception.
Yep.
But once again, the defense rises to the occasion.
Who had the Ashland interception? That was a big play.
The interception for Ashland was Jake Rimza.
Big play. Big play. Some
Huge.
big reception. Who had the big reception down here, Rob? After the drop? After the drop pass, he came back on the next play to
That
the
was
same
Jake
kid.
Rimza again.
That was Rimza again.
And Rimza had the first down on a 4th and 8 where he caught it, went back,
Yes.
and dove again. So Rimza had his best game of the night.
Yep, best game of the season, sure.
I mean, statistically, you'd say the star of the game was Molesky, 3 touchdowns, probably had 170, 180 yards again.
No question he set the tone.
But you could just go through the list. Jack McGough with some huge hits.
Yes.
You know, setting the tone again on that kick return after their touchdown where he leveled the guy and made some big sacks. Peter Gigliotti on that 2nd down, 3rd down drop of the quarterback or the running back. And then you had Dylan Drozek and Matt Gillis with that sack late in the game, which set up the 4th and 40, which they converted. You're not going to see that again, but that's worth the price of
And our
admission.
place kicker did what he had to do, and those points are important.
Yeah.
Giglia?
Julia.
Julia.
It's but and you called it too. You know how important it was, and he was just calm, cool, and collected. Even though that Norwood guy kind of got into the backfield, he just stuck with his routine.
Perfect.
And you've always said it. It's three things. It's the snap, the hold, and the kick.
Yep.
And the snap was great. The hold was great, and he just
Under pressure. Yeah.
And that was the difference, because they could play a little bit more casual on defense with the 9-point lead, as we
Very
said.
thrilling for the coaching staff and the players, of course, to respond under pressure.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you want your team to do. You want your team to respond with the big interception, the big sack, the big run, the big 2-point conversion. You know, they did it repeatedly tonight, and they had to do it because they're up against a good Norwood team who had two good backs and a great quarterback and a big defense.
Yeah. So, you know, that does it really. The next home game will be
Turkey Day?
maybe we may host a playoff game. Not sure what the schedule will be
Yeah.
at that point, but
There's no way we can lose ground in
Ashland-
those ratings
right.
this week.
we
I don't
we
think.
should be able to host an opening round game. But Ashland goes to 7-0. Norwood falls to 5-2, and they'll be in the playoffs. That's for sure. They're going to probably make some noise.
They're on the cusp of Division III because a lot of their TVL opponents are in Division IV, and that must be hurting their ranking. They're only 15th out of 16 playoff teams.
Yeah, and they did roll up the score of 42, but like we talked about, you only get 14 points,
Yes,
even
that's
though they
all that
won
counts,
by 35.
yeah.
And Holliston now is not that
Yeah.
helping you too much in your ratings.
I
so.
got to believe the Clockers ratings go up after beating a 5-1 team,
Yeah.
a 5-1 Division III team. That's got to go up.
That-
All right,
that
are we
about
done?
does it. Yeah, homecoming weekend. Did we want to do a summary afterwards? Or?
Look, I guess we're done, and we thank you for watching. And replays available on YouTube and Facebook, and we broadcast the games also on our cable television stations, all platforms, as we like to say. And our thanks to our sponsors
Technoplex Flexibles.
and the
Marathon.
fabulous Marathon Deli.
And I'll thank our crew, Justin O'Brien, Mackie Kotop, Tom Hamilton, with those great field shots that they'll splice in there for the replay. We had Allison Rose here a little bit. And the maestro, Connor Donovan, directing it all.
Thank you, Connor.
And that does it.
For Rob Silver, it's Bob Thacker. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Today's sports coverage on WACA-TV is sponsored in part by Techniplex Flexibles, a globally integrated company focused on developing and manufacturing innovative packaging materials. The Ashland facility produces packaging for medical devices and essential products to help in the battle to treat and eliminate COVID-19.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Marathon Deli. Marathon Deli offers a full range of lunch and dinner items for dine-in or catering. Fine cold cuts, cheeses, and meats also available, in addition to specialty wraps such as the Mayflower wrap, as well as the Honey Bee wrap. They'll be sure to get your mouth watering. Serving Metro West for over 24 years, give them a call at 508-231-1859 or find them on the web at marathondeli.com.